Kraut. We are making a fermented kraut, like original sauerkraut, but just in a modern recipe with apple and fennel and onions. Shane?
Yeah, this recipe couldn't be easier. I'm going to show you some quick techniques. So you're going to peel the outside of the cabbage, 1 or 2 leaves, depending on how dirty it is. Just to give it a quick peel, you're going to set those aside for later use. You're going to cut the core off. It's got some sugars in it you don't want going in your kraut. Cut it in half. Also get the rest of that core. And then we're just going to chop it. You can do it as thick as you like. Some people like their kraut a little thicker. I like it about 1 centimeter or so. It's really a preference. So we've weighed out the cabbage. You always want to weigh all of your ingredients.
And the apples, of course, take out the inner, what would you call that?
The core.
The core,
take the core out.
And cut it into small boats.
All right. So we're going to do the same thing here. Remove the outer leaves. Those are a lot easier to come off. All the bacteria you need to do the fermentation, to make the transformation, are on all these leaves. So you really you don't need to wash it. You just peel the outer leaves, and that's how you remove most of the dirt. And also red cabbage is really nice, especially with this recipe. Love the color.
Christmas.
Christmas kraut.
Yep.
Soren, my lovely assistant, is going to add everything together.
Then some fennel.
All right, so we're going to add some fennel.
It's very healthy for your intestines.
Exactly. Most of the kraut that we all grew up with is pasteurized. They cook it. They kill all the bacteria. This is alive. It's just, every time you eat it, it's like inoculating yourself with all the probiotic bacteria. And it's so simple. Add a little bit of onion. And
like
then
that.
Soren is going to add some salt, and we're going to go ahead and give it a massage.
So cabbage, fennel, apple, onions. Then with clean hands, you like a meditation class, massage the cabbage until it's nice and juicy.
This is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. You'll see the transformation happen. Okay, so as you can see, Soren has massaged it for about 5-10 minutes. You can see it's transformed, it's translucent, it started to release its juice. All this juice has come from the cabbage, so there's no added anything. All it is cabbage and salt and a few other ingredients.
Yeah, but it is important. I see people not getting this far.
Yeah.
So they're getting tired and they must be now, but actually it should be pretty juicy.
You really got to get in there and massage it. And now Soren's going to pack it into the jar.
And the jar needs to fit. Like this recipe is for a 2-liter jar.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea to put it in a 3-liter jar, so it needs to be full.
No, yeah, and you'll see why in a minute. We'll show you why it's important to get your jar full. Soren has done a nice job massaging it.
Thank you, Shane.
So you want to smash it down. The key here is you want to get the kraut below the brine. That's so that it goes anaerobic, which means that there's no oxygen in the solution. The bacteria that we're trying to cultivate are anaerobic, so oxygen can cause all kinds of problems, mold, yeast. So it looks like we got it just about right. You want to get everything in the jar, including the brine. So Soren's going to dump the rest of the brine in there that was naturally formed. At this point, we're going to take one of those leaves left over from the beginning, as I said to set aside, and this should be just about perfect. You're going to put it in just as so. That's what's so nice about these clamp jars, is that you can just clamp it down. As you can see, all the kraut is below the brine. This leaf on top is actually, the lid is applying pressure and pushing all the cabbage below the brine, and that's the most important element here. And as you can see, we just made kraut in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Couldn't be simpler. This recipe is going to be in the book, and we'll make it very simple. straightforward instructions, and yeah, hopefully get you fermenting. This is gonna ferment for about 3 weeks, maybe 4 if it's a little cooler, depends on temperature. Yeah, these microbes in here that are making the transformation are indeed alive. So they produce CO2 during about the first week. So you wanna release the pressure every day. Make sure that it could shoot some liquid out, but that's okay.
Yeah. So actually it takes out the tiny bit of oxygen in here, converts it to CO2, and that's why it doesn't get rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fermentation will go over and over. Open it every day, and after 3 weeks, it's there to put in the fridge.
You have a delicious, beautiful kraut. And that's it.